Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, lawmakers make their final decision to get rental assistance for Nebraskans.
Plus, multiple important announcements from Nebraska politicians today. But first,
we are really looking for a veto override from the legislature to ensure that our facilities get adequate funding because we know that there's a crisis happening.
One of the governor's vetoes has many in Nebraska concerned. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. Many are unhappy with the governor's choice to veto certain budget items.
He says the reason for the cuts is to provide more tax relief for Nebraskans. But one item vetoed was tens of millions of dollars that would have helped Nebraska's seniors. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us from the Capitol to explain why people are mad and what this funding would do. It looks like we're having a little difficulty getting the correct video to you, so hopefully we'll revisit our top story here in a little bit. But we are going to move on to other news from the Capitol. When we were speaking of vetoes, lawmakers are debating whether they have enough votes to override another one from the governor.
That's right. Let's see here. The governor...
He vetoed the bill that would have required Nebraska to apply for $120 million in federal assistance.
Taxpayers have already paid money into the federal government. This is federal dollars. This is part of their hard-earned income that has went to the feds that is being distributed back to Nebraska in form of rental assistance.
I think I just recently heard that the deficit for the federal government is another $1 trillion in the current budget. That's $1 trillion that's not tax dollars, that's just borrowed money that somebody down the road is going to have to pay.
Keep in mind, the first time the bill passed, 26-15, they just wrapped up a debate only 45 minutes ago and fell only one vote short of overriding the veto. With a little over a month before the primary elections, a lot of announcements today.
That's right. Gubernatorial candidate Jim Pillen named his running mate today.
Tell you what, why don't we go to break? We're going to regroup here and be right back.
COVID has been an incredible challenge for everyone. It's affected everything, but it hasn't changed the way I feel about government overreach and how I value personal freedom. No one should be forced to get a vaccine. That's a personal decision that every person and every parent should make. No business, no restaurant should be forced to close ever again. Our schools should stay open, period. Our children need to be in the classroom. The bottom line, for me, freedom is non-negotiable.
Right now, you're busy taking care of the people you love. Let Window World take care of the place you live. Window World, America's exterior remodeler, improving homes
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We're going to try this again for you tonight. Lawmakers are debating whether they have enough votes to override another veto from the governor.
That's right. Ricketts vetoed the bill that would have required Nebraska to apply for $120 million in federal rental assistance.
Taxpayers have already paid money into the federal government. This is federal dollars. This is part of their hard-earned income that has went to the feds that is being distributed back to Nebraska in form of rental assistance.
I think I just recently heard that the deficit for the federal government is another $1 trillion in the current budget. That's $1 trillion. It's not tax dollars. It's just borrowed money that somebody down the road is going to have to pay.
Now keep in mind, the first time the bill passed, it was 26-15. They just wrapped up debate about 45 minutes ago and fell one vote short of overriding the veto. With a little over a month to go now before the primary elections, a lot of announcements today.
That's right. Gubernatorial candidate Jim Pillen named his running mate today.
I know Nebraskans will see exactly what I see, somebody who will get the job done to the highest standard imaginable. My privilege to introduce my Lieutenant Governor, Joe Kelly.
Kelly is a career prosecutor bringing decades of law enforcement and public service experience to the ticket. He has been elected twice as Lancaster County Attorney and now Criminal Bureau Chief in the Office of the Attorney General. He also served 3 years as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Nebraska, appointed by former President Trump. Primary elections are May 10th. Also coming from the candidates for governor, Brett Lindstrom, being endorsed by the mayor of Omaha, Gene Stothert.
The three-term mayor praised Lindstrom's work on cutting taxes in the state and says he will keep young people here in Nebraska.
And I see his plan is not only the strongest, it's one of the few plans that I have seen that is truly written out and articulated.
Marks the biggest endorsement yet for the Lindstrom campaign, which has slowly built momentum over the last few months. In other election news, the race for the U.S. House.
Nebraska Republican congressional hopeful Mike Flood has been endorsed by the Nebraska Farm Bureau. The state senator and former speaker of the Nebraska legislature is looking to replace former Congressman Jeff Fortenberry in the upcoming special election. The Nebraska Farm Bureau president said Flood has been an advocate for agriculture throughout his tenure. And the Democratic Party of Nebraska announcing who will be on the ballot for June's special election.
They chose current 1st District candidate Patty Panzine Brooks, who's vying for Jeff Fortenberry's seat.
I am honored to accept this nomination for the special election, and with full determination, strength, commitment, and compassion for people.
Senator Panzine Brooks represents part of Lincoln in the state legislature. She already will be on the ballot for the primary in May for Congress, but is also accepting the nomination for the short-term special election. She says she used to be a Republican and still believes compromise can happen between both parties.
My hope is that there are 50 people like me across this nation that are in a similar circumstance, that feel a need to serve the country and feel a need to bring this country back together, able to communicate and work together and find consensus. And I think it's not only possible, I think it's probable that that could happen.
The special election will be June 28th for District 1. Senator Panzine Brooks believes with the redistricting that was recently done, the Democrats have a real shot at winning the election, and she believes it's time for Nebraska to elect their first female member of Congress. A community correction center worker and an inmate were hurt after a hit and run last night.
That's right. Lincoln police say it happened at 11th and L Streets. The corrections officer was driving 2 inmates on work release when a vehicle ran a red light and hit their van. The driver, this man pictured here, 33-year-old Robinson Juarez, ran away, but then hours later he called police to report that he had been in an accident. Juarez was arrested on multiple charges. The corrections employee is hospitalized with serious injuries, and 1 inmate is hospitalized with back injuries.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist John Dishour now for your first forecast. Some areas getting some much needed rain. Totals, though, haven't been really big, right?
No, not very much. We've mainly had just a few hundredths of an inch of liquid, and that's been about it out of these showers have been passing. Slightly higher amounts on the south side of Lincoln, which I'll show you a little later in the newscast. Otherwise, you can see right now, live look from Beatrice showing you, if you look closely, you can see some of the raindrops that are still falling down there. So take a live look from Schoen's Roofing there at South 6th Street and Perkins Street. So the roads are wet down there, and you can see on radar there's a little pocket of some moderate rain that's just off to the north and northeast of Beatrice. It's moving off to the east. Now, I do think once we get to about 6, 7 o'clock, this rain will start to come to an end. In fact, we'll see our skies clearing later on tonight. Here's how much rainfall officially at the airports: 100th of an inch in Lincoln, 200th of an inch in Beatrice. But you can see when I've got the colors painted on the map, that's a radar estimate, and it's showing you how the radar or the moisture has really been falling in between airport locations. So that's why we'll show you some of the other totals coming up a little later. Otherwise, temperature-wise, we're running about 10 degrees cooler than what we were 24 hours ago. Currently sitting at 51. It's after a high of 59 degrees today, snapping our streak of every day this month hitting at least 60 degrees. We fell just a degree short of that. Now, as we look back off to the west, you'll see, as we're looking west there from the camera shot, we got a lot of cloudy skies out there. We'll keep cloudy skies around through the evening. Now, as we go through the overnight, skies will begin to clear, but we'll talk about what changes that brings for tomorrow with some sunshine, at least early on. Will it last through the day? I'll have the answer to that coming up in my Storm Alert.
All right, thank you, John. Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine and the devastating images that are coming out of that war zone.
Ukrainian President Zelensky now making a desperate plea to the UN's most powerful body. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Abandoned cars, burnt out tanks, and bodies of innocent Ukrainians who appear to have been executed in the streets. The city of Bucha, just miles northwest of the country's capital, destroyed. Ukrainian President Zelensky speaking before the UN Security Council.
The massacre in our city of Bucha is only one, unfortunately, only one of many examples of what the occupiers have been doing on our land.
Russian officials were in attendance, but they've described the devastating images coming out of Bucha as fake, calling the videos of bodies in the street crude forgery.
The reports are more than credible. The evidence is there for the world to see.
Sources telling ABC News on Wednesday the U.S. will announce sweeping new sanctions on Russia, including a ban on all new investment there, increased sanctions on financial institutions, and on Russian government officials and their family members. ABC's James Longman is on the ground in Bucha, where Ukrainian officials say more than 300 civilians have been killed.
I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies in this tiny room in this basement where Ukrainians say people have been tortured.
More and more people are trying to escape the war-torn country, many still stuck in places like the damaged city of Mariupol. The Red Cross unable to bring aid to suffering residents or help people out.
The situation in Mariupol has been dire. People have been staying there for a week with absolutely no humanitarian supplies getting in.
U.S. officials warn these new sanctions will not stop Putin overnight, saying it will take time. But sadly, many fear there isn't enough time with the humanitarian crisis growing by the day. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And when we come back, former President Obama returns to the White House.
He's joining his former vice president in promoting the Affordable Health Care Act. Details after the break. Which I believe we don't have a break. So we are going to get to that story right now. You don't have to wait. Good news.
How's that for service, right?
Today, a milestone at the White House as President Biden is joined by former President Obama to mark 12 years since the signing of the Affordable Care Act.
And the first time since Obama has returned to the White House since leaving office. ABC's Alex Perche is in Washington.
For the first time since leaving office, former President Obama is back at the White House.
Vice President Biden, Vice President. That was a joke.
Obama joining President Biden and Vice President Harris to celebrate the 12th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act being signed into law. This hot mic moment between Biden and Obama, a highlight from that day. The two still proud of the ACA's legacy.
If you can get millions of people health coverage and better protection, it is, to quote a famous American, a pretty big deal.
Biden now looking to build on it, announcing a new executive order and a proposed rule from the Treasury Department to fix the ACA's so-called family glitch, which the Kaiser Family Foundation estimates affects more than 5 million people. Starting next January, the change will allow family members who pay more than 10% of their income for coverage to be able to receive financial help. It's expected to allow 200,000 uninsured people to gain coverage, and nearly 1 million more are expected to see lower premiums.
Once today's proposed rule is finalized, starting next year, working families in America will get the help they need to afford full family coverage. Everyone in the family.
The visit from Obama, who is still popular, comes as Biden struggles in the polls over his handling of a 40-year high in inflation and soaring gas prices linked to the ongoing war in Ukraine.
The administration says more than 30 million people have used the ACA over the last 12 years. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
Some needed rainfall today. I just wish we had more of it. The south side of Lincoln getting more than the rest of the city, or really for that matter the rest of the county. Taking a live look right now from Honda of Lincoln, some raindrops on the lens. As we look off to the north and west, we've got clearing coming our way. In fact, our skies will turn clear as we go through the overnight hours tonight. There are still some light showers that are moving from west to east across the viewing area, reaching from out towards Hastings, although I'm not sure all of those are reaching the ground out that direction. But we do have some light to moderate showers just to the east of Beatrice, now moving right along Highway 136. They'll keep moving eastward. And we're just about done with any precipitation, I think, in the Lincoln area. I'll keep a chance for some rain in the forecast through 6 o'clock, but after that, the rain quickly falls off. Now, not a lot of rain in airport gauges. You can see I've got the radar estimate put on underneath it, and you can see how it kind of fell in between the radar sites. So let me zoom in a little closer to the south side of Lincoln and show you what some of the rain gauges were showing. Only 3/100 of an inch up towards northeast Wesleyan. 7/100 of an inch of precipitation or rain picked up at Lancaster EOC. But you get down towards 27th and Old Chain and over towards Firethorn, we start talking about 1/10 of an inch to nearly 1/1500 of an inch of rain from today's showers. Temperature-wise, it's on the cool side. We're sitting at 50 degrees across most of the city, officially 51 at the airport. We officially hit a high temperature today of 59 degrees at the airport. We're down to 48 in Fred, 49 degrees in Hebron, and a bit warmer out toward the west where we got some sunshine out towards Grand Island and Kearney, where temperatures right now are in the middle to upper 50s. A cold front has moved through. You can see the showers that's dragging back behind it. What's going to impact us the next couple of days is this area of low pressure that's off to the north. It's going to slowly move off to the east. As it does so, we will see little spokes of energy spin around the back side of it and bring us nearly a daily chance for an afternoon shower for tomorrow and again through the day on Thursday. It's also going to bring some windy conditions around here. In fact, take a look at this. Wind gusts being reported of 63 mile per hour in Pierce, South Dakota. They've got 56 mile per hour gusts up to Glendive, Montana. Around here, we've got winds gusting upward to 30 miles per hour, so not nearly as strong, but that changes for tomorrow and on Thursday. This is looking tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pick a location near where you will be, and you'll get an idea what winds will be like out of the west, west-northwest, and we could have gusts at times to 45 miles per hour throughout the day. On Thursday, we may even have some gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour at times. So a very blustery, a very windy day Wednesday and again on Thursday. For tonight, we'll see our temperatures under clear skies dropping down into the upper 30s with some gusts to 25 miles per hour. Here come the clouds for tomorrow. We'll call it mostly cloudy. As we head towards the afternoon, there will be a chance for a few light scattered showers. Can't rule out a chance for a shower for really anybody, just not expecting more than a couple hundredths of an inch of rain, and that's about it. Again, that's for Wednesday. And high temperatures tomorrow will be in the low 50s for the most part. We may top out at 54 degrees in Lincoln. 7-day forecast, cooler on Thursday, 48. Factor in the winds, we're likely to have wind chills down into the 20s. It's going to clear out. More sunshine comes back for Friday, a high of 54. Now, a chilly start Saturday morning. We'll see temperatures down into the mid-20s, so if some of you are tailgating before the spring game, it may be a little on the chilly side, but sunscreen needed for the afternoon. 65 degrees for a high, mid-70s coming in for Sunday, and then early next week we can still see temperatures up near 80 degrees by Tuesday with another cold front coming through and more winds for the middle of next week, and that will take our temperatures back down into the 50s.
I guess what we're used to, it's springtime in Nebraska, right? From one end to the other. We've seen a lot of that so far this year.
That's when you wear layers.
and the one thing we've not seen so far, and knock on wood, we won't, would be any snow at this point. So I'm fine if we don't see any more of that.
All right. Thank you, John. Well, many are unhappy with Governor Ricketts' choice to veto certain budget items.
He says the reason for the cuts is to provide more tax relief for Nebraskans, but one item vetoed was tens of millions of dollars that would have helped Nebraska's seniors. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us from the Capitol to explain why people are mad and what this funding would do.
Governor Pete Ricketts vetoed a portion of the general budget funds that would have gone to raise provider rates at nursing homes and assisted living facilities across the state, leaving many wondering how many will close now.
Well, my first thought is very disappointed. Not only disappointed, but pretty angry, frankly, because we'd spent a lot of time, not only during session, but in the fall, taking a look at what was happening under the COVID situation and what were the needs out there, what were the challenges.
Of the $51.8 million cut, half of it was intended to boost provider rates for nursing homes and assisted living facilities. It also cut increases for providers of child welfare and behavioral health. The veto has many concerned more seniors may have to pack up and move out.
This funding is literally an elder Nebraskan's home. And without this funding, you are going to continue to see more facilities close and more elder Nebraskans displaced from their communities.
You may wonder how raising provider rates would help keep the doors open. A provider rate is what the state pays for a resident who lives in a nursing facility who is on Medicaid.
Over 55% of residents in nursing homes are on Medicaid. So this is really important funding. And it's again important that it's long-term funding for sustainable access to care.
As some facilities have already closed their doors, other locations like Goldcrest Retirement Center are trying to absorb those displaced.
If we continue this cycle of seeing closures, you are going to see people without the ability to find care, not only where they need it, but just access, period.
Senators will have a chance to override the governor's veto and will need at least 30 votes to do so. Senator Stenner believes it may happen this Thursday.
We voted it out of committee today. Our committee actually had to vote on the overrides. Came out unanimous on the main line and unanimous on the transfers, 8-1 on the cash transfers. So strong vote by the committee. That will be read in, so we'll be ready to take that up when the speaker schedules it.
There are now just 7 days left in this legislative session. Reporting from the state capitol, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News.
And the governor told senators the reason for the veto was that there are sufficient rate increases already provided through the budget and from federal COVID recovery funds. We'll be right back.
Tonight, images so heinous thing.
Well, that is all the time that we have tonight. Thank you all for sticking with us and joining us.
World News is next. See you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
The spas are here. Truckloads.
Today.
These spas are going fast. Spas are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Supreme Spa and Pool.
Closed captioning on Channel 8.